Hi guys, welcome back to episode 3 of Switched On Racing. It's our career mode on Motorsport Manager on the Nintendo Switch. And just a quickie before we get into the next race, which is the Bahrain Grand Prix, by the looks of it. I've edited in all of Formula 3 for what that's worth, because I know so little about Formula 3 that there may as well just be the random default names. But they are there, so rest assured. So what I'm going to do very quickly at the start of this episode is just quickly go through these. So if you do want to set up Formula 3, then you know where to begin. So let's just rattle through these. So the first one here is MP Motorsport. And again, feel free to just pause this video so you can get a handle on the edits. So don't need to hang around here for long. It's Trident Motorsport, really nice car, Trident Motorsport. It's High Tech GP, another quite nice car. All the drivers are edited in as well, as close as I could make them. It's Campos Racing, the crazy hair of Alex Peroni. Prima Racing, really nice car, that one. And again, these are, not photo accurate to the actual cars. Are as close as I can get them within the limitations of the editor in the game. It's HWA Race Lab. And this was actually a really nice car. This is the junior team for Sauber, Formula 1 team Sauber. So they use the same livery as their parent team. So it's a really nice looking and fairly accurate car. And it's Genza Motorsport. Oh, press the wrong button. And then Art GP. Nice car. That looks like a Manchester United car, if they had a racing car. And back to us, Switched On Racing. And then rotating back around again. So there you are. If you do want to edit in Formula 3, you can work through that video and base your edits off of what I've done, if that helps. Okay, so next up we're going to look at this Bahrain GP. It's reliant on suspension, braking and gearbox, so we should probably gear our car up as much as possible. It's a shame actually it doesn't tell you how long you've got to the next GP. It just says coming up, but it'd be nice if we could see a bit more of an obvious calendar, so we knew how much time we had. But anyway, so suspension, brakes and gearbox. Let's have a look at our parts. So build parts. It's going to take 2 weeks to build new suspension, a week to build new brakes. Gearbox we can't do a lot about because that's a spec part. Can certainly have a look at the brakes though. So let's get the team working on some brakes. So we'll go with Armando Solana's performance attribute. Li Honghe, she gives 10% to the reliability. And then look at the luscious hair of Luther Anderson. My goodness, I bet he uses Timothy. So 6 performance or 4% reliability. I think we'll go with the reliability on that one. So get cracking, lads. Now, between the two videos, episode 2 and this video, we have taken on a new sponsor, which I think was Squillardo Games maybe, or Eve Technology. Maybe an Eve. Can't remember, such a long time ago. But yeah, so we've got new sponsors, so we've got a bit of cash. We may be able to buy some parts. So look at the cars and the part marketplace. So we can buy a suspension mod, which we can apply straight away. And that will give us 24 performance and 9% reliability. So we'll take that and see if we're allowed to mod it onto our suspension. So a little tip, I'm really sorry, I can't remember your name, but one of the guys left a comment to say I should be swapping my parts out. So put the best part that I've got onto the second car and then apply the suspension or the new part to the first team's car. It was obvious really, and a bit embarrassing I overlooked that, but we'll probably come to that when we buy an actual part. But yes, get rid of the worst part between your two cars, put the best part you've got on the car that you removed the part from, and then apply the new part to the new car, which just sounds more confusing than it needs to be. So I will stop there. So anyway, suspension mod, we can put this on. Should put it on. This is poor old Takuma Ito's only got 65% reliability, so we'll apply the mod to his car on the suspension. Now he's got a really suffering with his front wing, 44%. That's pretty poor. So have we got any front wings we can buy? Any front wings? There's a front wing there. That's a really good front wing. And there's a nice front wing with a lot of reliability. So at the minute, you see the arrows underneath. That's saying what performance increase or decrease you're going to get. We're looking at Jack's car. So let's have a look at Ito's car. And we can see that if we get this wing here, which is going to cost us nearly $2 million, it's going to be quite a big increase in performance, not so much in reliability. We can steal this front wing from another team, although the reliability will take a massive hit. There's a slightly cheaper one there for 1.2, but Ito's reliability will go down 20%. Oh no, I'm quite liking this one, but it's 2 million. Oh, what the hell. We've got plenty of cash. So what we're going to do is what I say, it was pointed out to me in the comments. We're going to swap the parts over. So Ito's going to get an improved wing. He's going to get Jack White's old wing, and then we're going to apply the new part to Jack's car. So then we've got two really good parts assigned to our drivers. Pretty obvious really, but again, overlooked it. So felt a bit silly on my part. So that's enough tinkering. Let's get on with the Bahrain GP. So we were 2 weeks away. So we've got new brakes to apply to the car, and they've turned out 30% performance better than expected, 4% reliability better than expected. So that's good. And again, we can put Jack's old brakes on Ito's car, and then give Jack the new brakes. So Ito dealing with hand-me-downs at the moment, but it's improving his car, so no need to complain. So that's Jack White's car, and then Ito's car looking a little bit better now overall with those hand-me-down parts. So then Bahrain, the desert track. Again, what sponsor do we take? We can play it safe, take the big dough. And they just want us to finish 16th or above in qualifying and race to get 100 grand each time. SwitchedOn Games want us to finish 4th. I think we'll take the risk and hedge our bets that we can finish 4th in qualifying and race. Hope you're enjoying this game anyway. If you've picked it up from any of my other content or the review I did the other day, if you've not seen that yet, that's on the channel. Won't spoil the score, but I imagine you can guess that I enjoy it quite a lot. So, top two drivers, Jack White and Liam Lawson, are set to resume hostilities in this pole position shootout. And then remembering we've now got new drivers. So you'll be seeing some new names, these official Formula 3 real life names. So let's get Jack out. So we've got 12 skill points to spend. And let's go straight in with a turbo. And then we can spend up to 9 here. Oh, that was 1. That's lovely. We can potentially bust if we get 9 or 10 on this one. Is it a risk worth taking? Or we could apply 2 smaller cards. Let's do a smaller one. So 3 on that. And that's perfect. Up to a maximum of 5. And okay. We didn't quite get to the 0.25 seconds. But again, another tip that I received in the comments is that I should be constantly sending out these drivers. Of course, again, overlooked it. But these bonuses stack up. So we send them out for qualifying. Let them do a lap and then reapply new cards to their car, and the bonuses will stack on top of what we've already done. So imagine it like the drivers are going out with a setup, come back, give you some feedback, you make some tweaks, send them back out again, and hopefully they're going to improve their performance. So that's the kind of sort of abstracted thinking behind that. So we're sending Jack out on the best tyres for qualifying. He's going out mediums. And he'll make his way out on his outlap. So let's have a look at Takuma's car. He's only got up to 7. Oh, that's lovely. First card, 0 points. Second card, 0 points. Now then, that's probably too much for a risk. Skill cost between 3 and 15. We could most likely bust there. Where this way, we've got a good chance of not busting. And we don't bust, so perfect. And we can't really risk applying any more to Takuma's car, but he did reach that boost on the left hand side, so he's got a 0.1 second bonus per lap, so we'll go with that. And he'll make his way out as well in the blue switched on car. And again, you'll be seeing some new cars on the track from Formula 3. Some different looks. So then let's speed up around this outlap. Get on with the qualifying. Don't need to worry too much just now about how to perform it. You can see there at the top, Jack White's gone purple, green and purple. So he'll take pole. And obviously Ito sets 3 fastest sectors on his first lap. But Jack White fastest overall. And the guys are back in the pits. So as I said, we can apply this. So you see here, we go a second time and you get mechanic feedback. So Kirsty Osmond saying that was excellent. We gained 36% bonus during that stint. And we can keep stacking these cards up. So we'll go again with this big one. It's going to cost us 2 points for a big bonus. See if we can get up to half a second. It looks like we probably are going to make it. Oh, just shy of half a second. Now we can risk this, but an 8, a 9 or a 10 on that skill card will bust us. And considering that the good setup that Jack's got, we're going to leave it there because he can probably get one more lap in before the session's over. So we should be able to get that up to the half a second bonus. Ito, Francisco Barino, his engineer, says feedback is good. Improved the setup by 22 seconds, which is just 22%, which has just ticked Ito over to the 0.1 second bonus on the left hand side. So that's good. And then we're going to take a risk here and apply this card, and if we bust, we lose all of our bonus. So we're looking for anything under a 7. It's a bit like play cards, right? This anything under a 7. A 0. Lovely. Good game. This one we can comfortably apply, and another 0. Getting some good luck here for Ito. And we probably won't risk any more. Again, we can send him out for a 3rd run. It's not even going to cost us any tyres or anything like that. We can just keep comfortably send them out for runs for as long as we've got time. So let's have a bit of a wider look at this track. Quite twisty, set in the deserts. And Ito doesn't improve, and Jack isn't improving either. So no improvement across the board. Although the mechanic's saying, Kirsty there, she says the feedback has been good. Let's get our final boosts in. So there's 8 points for that one, and this will be perfect. we've just ticked over the 0.75 setup bonus. And we can even go further than that. And we'll settle on that. That's the highest boost I've ever got in the game so far, so that's really good to see. So Jack goes out. Ito's on his in lap, but we're going to get him out before another one. Now then, we can't risk sending him out, that said, because we could bust and lose any bonus we've got. So we're not going to take the risk. We're going to back out of that. And Ito can take his helmet off and settle into the pits as we watch Jack on his outlap. So let's watch the sectors light up as he's gone purple. First sector, so quickest on the track. Purple second sector. And a purple third sector will get Jack White pole position. Everybody else is in the pits and Jack White sticks it on pole on his last qualifying lap. And that 0.75 second bonus really paying dividends there. So it goes to show you it's worth playing that little mini game to stack those bonuses up. And Jack White takes pole by a good margin in the end, 0.7 seconds or just under 0.7. From Alex Peroni of Campos Racing, and Yuki Sonda of Genza Motorsport takes third. Takuma Ito, reasonable fifth. It's not too bad with his new car. And ready for the race. So here we are. Here's the grid. Let's have a look at the first few. White on pole, Peroni second, Sonda third. Liam Lawson fourth in the MP Motorsport car. Then comes our second car, Takuma Ito. Simo Laaksonen in the second MP Motorsport car. Prima Racing, HWA. And the first Trident Motorsport car, ninth there, Devlin Dan Francesco. Just in front of his teammate Pedro Piquet. So yeah, it's quite nice having these real drivers. As I say, I know literally nothing about Formula 3, unfortunately. My knowledge of anything below really Formula 1 is quite scratchy. I know some Formula 2 drivers and Formula E quite well, but anything other than that I'm struggling. Oh, and IndyCar I'm a big fan of. So we'll be setting up IndyCar and Formula 2 sometime this week, and I will put those edits up for you. But until then, let's get on with this race. We've got 18 laps of Bahrain. And our pole sitter, Jack White. We need a strategy for him. We could go super hards and try and squeeze out. If he could go without stopping. What's the bonuses we've got? We've got pit stop times 1 second quicker. That's not really going to help us if we're doing a no-stop strategy. But I think we are going to have to stop. I think we're going to go with the super hards to start with, and then finish on a dash on the mediums, and we'll take that 1 second bonus. And we'll get Jack charging from the start to get off the line and get a lead there. I'm quite confident in White for this race. Ito starting in 5th. Might need a slightly different strategy. Might go hards. Just go 2 sets of hards. He's got a slow fuel burn, or he can improve his relationship, which he probably needs to do to get that second bonus unlocked there. And here we go. So we're looking for 5 lights. I'm watching Jack White. Quick away from the line. It's not a good start. And immediately Peroni takes the lead and pulls out a gap already. And that's a bad start for Jack White. Just didn't get traction off the line. Ito up into 3rd. So switched on 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Although Ito dropping back and seems to be holding up the pack a little bit. Let's see if White can charge. Don't need him to be... we'll probably let him go one more lap with these with his dials turned up, and then we'll have to settle down. He's not making any inroads on Pironi at all. So right, we're going to dial back and settle into this race. Obviously not got the power to match Pironi at the moment. And Ito going backwards through the field at the moment. Down into 6th. Down into 7th. Oh no, still... Well, 6th and 7th is battling. Back at the front, and White still making no inroads into Pironi. He's actually being caught by... Is that Larkinen? Oh, Lawson. No, Laxinen, sorry, in 3rd. And Lawson in 4th. So we're looking for another couple of laps before we bring Ito in. Trying to stretch White out towards the end. Could change his strategy. As he sort of drops further back from Pironi and comes under quite strong pressure from Laxinen. Okay, let's get the pit done for Ito first. Let's get him in and done. This front three of Pironi, White and Laxinen still keeping a steady distance from each other. White currently the race leader now. 8 laps to go. Does need to make a stop though. His tyres on 29%. Got a little bit of boost that Ito can use. And if anything, we need to reel it in for White. And White still leads. 19 seconds in front of Pironi, so it's quite a good gap to make a stop. Now with 5 laps to go, we are going to bring Jack White in, stick him on those faster medium tyres and see if we can get a sprint finish. We do need to conserve some fuel for a little while. So White comes in to make his stop. Ito's on a charge up to 11th. He was down as low as 16th at one point. And we've got damage to the car of White. He actually came out the pits just behind Pironi, so he's lost his lead. Ito complaining as well of some problems. Really is spinning plates this game when you get into this race situation. Right, Ito's taken on himself to change his engine mode because we forgot about that. And then White, we're going to stick back up onto a medium. He's recovered enough fuel now. So, sprint to the finish. I don't think we're going to be able to catch Pironi. Although that said, White makes up massive grounds just then. I think he's got tyres to spare, so we're going to charge for the last couple of laps. And can White make up this difference on Pironi? He's closing in with this lap to go, so we're going to stick him in high engine mode for the final part of this lap. Can we take Pironi before the finish line? It's going to be close, and White does take it right at the line. Brilliant race for Jack White, right at the line. A few tweaks, boosted himself past Pironi, and takes the checkered flag for SwitchedOn Racing. And that is what Motorsport Manager is all about. Good setup, get those quicker times in on those qualifying laps to give you that boost for the race. And then managing your driver through the race. It was a good strategy to run for as long as we could on those mediums and then... Oh, the super hard, sorry. And then switch on to the mediums for the last few laps. That really paid dividends once they warmed up for the last couple of laps. Kicked it into an aggressive driving mode. And it got us past Pironi, who must be gutted. But 25 points for Jack White. Alex Pironi second. Simo Laxinen third. And there we see the team championship Switched On with 3 wins from 3 races. And Jack White 24 points clear at the top of the table from Alex Peroni and Liam Lawson, the 2 Australians, or New Zealanders, sorry. Bringing up the field, and then Takuma Ito down in 7th with 20 points. So Campos Racing not happy, but that's of little consequence to us. Great win, great race, tremendous victory by Jack White. And you see in the corresponding Formula 1 race that was held at Beijing, round 3 of 12, Lewis Hamilton from Vettel and Ricciardo in the Renault taking 3rd. Verstappen 4th, Bottas in the other Mercedes 5th, and Pierre Gasly, tremendous effort from the Frenchman to take 6th. And as the Formula 1 constructors, Mercedes and Ferrari lead the way as you'd expect. Red Bull and Renault bring up the rear, and Hamilton, Vettel, Verstappen, the top 3 drivers. So nice realism there in that season, liking that a lot. MP Motorsport's got upgraded upgraded brakes for the next race, and Trident Motorsport new wing ready for the next race. Takuma Ito gains the happy trait. We'll have a quick look at traits in a moment. And Jack White gained an improvement point. So let's go and have a look at those now. There's a bank balance. Cool $1 million from that Bahrain race. Here's a nice little thing. So it's time to start thinking about next season's car. So we can show you this quickly. You can choose what to focus on. So you can focus the new car on power, the chassis, or complexity. So the chassis gives fuel efficiently and tyre wear will get a boost. Power gives performance boost to all parts for next season. Interesting. I think we'll go with power. So here's how many points we can invest in the car. So if it costs us $1 million, we invest 60 points per race, and you'll see where we're going to be estimated to be ending up here. If you look at the bar graph just above, so if we pump $1 million a race, I don't know if it's $1 million per race or $1 million off the bat. Maybe it's just $1 million investment. I would imagine it's $1 million per race. But that's going to get us a competent car. And if we go to $2 million per race, we can get a Challenger. But we haven't got that sort of money, so we're going to go $1 million. And we'll see if that's per week or it is just a one-off payment. Of course, you don't have to invest anything. Yeah, it looks like we could pump another $1 million in and get a Challenger. We'll leave it like that for now. So here's some driver movement. Art Grand Prix want to take Takuma Ito off of our hands, and they're offering David Beckman, the German, if we pay 600,000. That's quite interesting. Beckman, only 19. Got some room to grow. And consider Ito is considered the 18th best driver on the grid, and Beckman is his 13th best. I think that's a no-brainer, really. We're going to take Beckman. And Takuma Ito is out of the team. David Beckham. That'd be something. David Beckman. I wonder how many times I'll say Beckham in the next few videos. So David Beckman will join Switched On Racing. So let's have a look at these points. If we look at details, and you can see that Jack White has got an improvement point to spend here on his stats. So we will pump that into cornering, maybe increases the driver speed, consistency. We'll put that into cornering. And he's not interested in renewing a contract for next season. So he's going to look at traits as well. So here's personality. So he's charismatic and he's immune to bad interviews. And White hasn't actually got any traits. So let's see if we can have a look at Beckman. Okay, he's got no traits either. But he has got sponsor appeal. And he's actually got an improvement point. Comes with an improvement point as well. So lots to improve here. So let's put this into cornering, braking. One of the basics really of driving. So we should have that. And there we are. So the next race will be the Singapore Grand Prix. But first we have the Invitational event, which I think is like a World Cup, a sports car World Cup, where we take a sports car team divided up into the drivers' countries and see if we can win some prize money. And then on to the street circuit of Singapore, which is actually at night. I've played through these before. So we've got a night race at Singapore coming up. The Milan GP, which is based very much on Imola. And then we end with the Monaco Grand Prix, which is actually not licensed as such, but it is actually a replica of the Monaco track and also uses the Monaco name. So I can't quite get an answer from the devs how they're allowed to use the Monaco name. I wonder whether it's because it's a public road, whether they can't actually whether they're immune to licensing. But we end the season at Monaco regardless. So I'm going to end this episode here. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And please subscribe if you can below. It'd be really appreciated. And I will get the next video up in the next few days. Thanks again, and enjoy the Nindies Direct later. Hopefully there'll be something interesting coming up for us. But until then, I will bid you farewell. See you later.